Jason Voorhees is one of the most iconic horror icons of all time. Even people who don't know horror know who Jason is. This is because he crowns one of the most iconic looks ever, his signature hockey mask. But how exactly did Jason Voorhees acquire one of the most memorable looks of all time? In the pantheon of horror cinema, few figures are as significantly recognizable as Jason Voorhees. His hulking stature, relentless pursuit of his victims, and most noticeably, his distinctive hockey mask have cemented his status as a cultural icon. However, Jason wasn't always synonymous with his facial covering. To understand how he came to wear the hockey mask, we first must trace the character's evolution through the early installments of the Friday the 13th franchise. Jason Voorhees made his debut in the original 1980 film Friday the 13th, not as a primary antagonist, but as the tragic figure, a young boy who drowned at Camp Crystal Lake due to the negligence of camp counselors. And allegedly drowned, might I add. If you want to dive deeper into that, go check out my earlier video on the question. But anyways, his mother Pamela Voorhees, driven by grief and vengeance, becomes the film's central killer. It isn't until the sequel, Friday the 13th Part 2 from 1981, that Jason emerges as the main antagonist, seeking to avenge his mother's death. In Part 2, Jason's appearance is drastically different from the image we associate him with today. He's portrayed as a wild, unkempt figure, concealing his disfigured face with a crude sackcloth mask, a simple burlap sack with a single eye hole. Basic and straight up lame disguise added an element of raw terror to his character, emphasizing his primal nature. The sack mask, while effective in its simplicity, was a temporary solution, hinting at the character's need to hide his deformities from the world. As the franchise progressed, there was a conscious effort to refine his appearance, creating a visual identity that would leave a lasting impression on audiences. This evolution was not just aesthetics, it was about crafting a symbol that would encapsulate the essence of Jason Voorhees, a relentless force of nature lurking behind an emotionless facade. The transition from the sackcloth mask to the hockey mask was a pivotal moment in the series, making Jason's transformation into the iconic figure we know today. This change was not merely cosmetic, it represented a shift in the character's portrayal from a vengeful son to an unstoppable embodiment of fear. The hockey mask would become more than just a prop. It would serve as a symbol for the enduring nature of the Friday the 13th franchise and its central antagonist. Understanding this evolution is crucial as it set the stage for a moment when Jason adopts the hockey mask, a moment that would forever alter the landscape of horror cinema. But how did this transformation occur? What circumstances led Jason acquiring the mask that would become his trademark? To uncover this, we must delve into the behind-the-scenes decisions and on-screen events of the Friday the 13th Part 3, where the legend of the hockey mask was born. In the early 1980s, the Friday the 13th franchise was rapidly gaining momentum, with audiences eagerly anticipating each new installment. And I wasn't alive, but I've heard of the hype. I've heard of it just a little bit. And as the series progressed, there was a growing need to establish a consistent and memorable image for its central antagonist, Jason Voorhees. This desire for a distinctive look culminated in Friday the 13th Part 3, where Jason would rock the iconic hockey mask for the first time, forever altering his on-screen persona. There was a search for Jason's new look. Prior to Part 3, Jason's appearance varied, lacking a signature look that could be instantly recognized by audiences. For instance, in Part 2, with the burlap sack with a single eye hole, and again, this was a scary design, but a very simple and lame design as well. We as fans deserved something we could go trick-or-treating in. If a kid went trick-or-treating with a burlap sack on, people would just assume he is homeless. And luckily for us, the filmmakers recognized this need for a more striking and enduring image as they embarked on the third installment. During pre-production, the creative team experimented with various designs to craft a unique visual for Jason. Special effects artist Stan Winston, aka one of the guys behind Terminator and Jurassic Park, was initially brought in to develop a new look for Jason. Winston created a foam latex mask that presented a more human-like appearance, aiming to evoke both sympathy and fear. And also, I think they were going for a little bit of that Michael Myers look, because at this point, everyone's just ripping off Halloween. But anyways, this design was ultimately set aside as the filmmakers sought something more distinctive and less human. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Martin J. Sadoff, the film's 3D effects supervisor and an avid hockey fan, had his personal hockey gear on set. During a lighting test to expedite the process without applying prosthetics, Sadoff suggested using his Detroit Red Wings goalie mask to stand in for Jason's face. Director Steve Miner was immediately struck by the mask's unsettling and impersonal appearance, recognizing its potential to become Jason's new look. With the decision made to use a hockey mask, the next step was to tailor and to fit it to the character's menacing aura. The original mask was a standard Detroit Red Wings design, but modifications were necessary to ensure it translated effectively on screen. The filmmakers enlarged this mask and adjusted its shape to fit over the prosthetics worn by actor Richard Brooker, who portrayed Jason in Part 3. They also widened the eye holes and altered the markings to give it a more sinister look. But there was an impact of filming and the audience reception of this new mask. The introduction of the hockey mask had an immediate impact on the film's production and its reception. Visually, the mask provided a stark, emotionless facade that amplified Jason's presence, making him more intimidating and mysterious. It also offered a practical benefit during filming, allowing for quicker setup times compared to applying extensive facial prosthetics. Audiences responded positively to Jason's new look. The hockey mask added a layer of mystery and terror. It concealed any trace of humanity, transforming Jason into a relentless, faceless embodiment of fear. This transformation was pivotal in solidifying Jason Voorhees as a horror icon, with the hockey mask becoming synonymous with his character. The evolution of Jason's mask in Friday the 13th Part 3 was a turning point for the franchise. What began as a quick solution during a lighting test evolved into one of the most recognizable symbols in horror cinema. The hockey mask not only provided Jason with a consistent and terrifying appearance, but also cemented his status as an enduring figure in popular culture. Naturally, this mask evolved in the upcoming sequels, as in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, 1984, the mask sustained a noticeable axe mark, a continuity detail from the climax of Part 3, thanks to Tommy Jarvis. This damage underscored Jason's resilience and the brutal encounters he endured. As the series progressed, the mask's wear and tear mirrored Jason's own transformation into an increasingly decayed entity. For instance, in Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, the mask was partially broken, revealing Jason's decomposed face beneath, highlighting the supernatural aspects of his character, and of course the fact that he was chained at the bottom of a lake for a few years. There was also some behind the scenes decisions influencing the mask's appearance. The mask design was not solely a product of a narrative progression, but also a practical filmmaking decision. Different special effects teams and directors brought their unique visions to Jason's appearance. In Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, director Tom McLaughlin aimed for a more zombie-like Jason, leading to a mask that appeared aged and weathered, complementing the film's gothic horror tone. These behind-the-scenes choices significantly influenced how the mask, and by extension Jason, was perceived by audiences. The mask's iconic status led to extensive merchandising, from replica masks to action figures, which, if you want to cop one, go check the link down below, allowing for fans to own a piece of horror legacy. Its design had been adapted into various forms of media, including video games and comic books, showcasing its versatility and enduring appeal. The widespread adoption underscores the mask's significance not just as a character prop, but as a cultural artifact. The mask also influenced other horror franchises. Jason's hockey mask set a precedent for character design in horror cinema. Its success demonstrated the power of a simple yet distinctive visual element in creating an enduring villain. The influence is evident in subsequent horror icons where masks and unique facial coverings became central to character identities, reinforcing the importance of visual symbolism in the genre. The evolution of Jason's hockey mask reflects both the character's development and the franchise's response to cultural and cinematic trends. Its journey from a practical on-set solution to a legendary emblem of horror epitomizes the collaborative creativity inherent in filmmaking. And it also influenced fashion and art. The mask's influence extends beyond cinema into various facets of fashion and art. Designers have incorporated its imagery in the clothing lines, and artists have used it on canvases for creative expression. Its stark simplicity allows for endless reinterpretation, making it a versatile symbol in various artistic mediums. As the mask's recognizability has led to its inclusion in various parodies and references across media, it has appeared in comedy sketches, animated series, and even other films, often used to evoke a sense of horror or to pay homage to the Friday the 13th series. This widespread acknowledgement underscores its status as a cultural touchstone. From its accidental inception on a film set to its status as a global icon of horror, Jason Voorhees' hockey mask embodies the power of visual symbolism in cinema. It serves as a testament to how a simple design choice can leave a dusty, divot-sized mark on popular culture and our hearts, influencing fashion, art, and the collective psyche of audiences worldwide. Let me know what you guys think about Jason Voorhees' mask down in the comments below. Please drop a like and hit that subscribe button, or you will find burlap sack Jason staring into your window tonight. And you don't want that at all. Thank y'all so much for watching, and have a blessed day. Peace.